Hey, Peace World, thanks for pressing playing another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Hey, all the new subscribers recently, I've been on a great run picking up new subscribers and whatnot, so I appreciate all of the new support. Furthermore, if you want any engagement would be, appreciated 3,000%. It's liking the video, sharing the videos, making a comment. I'm not opposed to hearing, differing opinions and whatnot. And I probably hear some different opinions with this discussion right here. I'm gonna try to keep this brief, but I didn't know how to come back and kind of add on to my thoughts about the shot, a show on Showtime Sunday nights. Well, right now, this weekend, I think will be episode 3. It'll be coming up in season 3, and the show was created by Lena Waithe. If you know Lena Waithe, she is living out, or whatever the phrase is. She is a lesbian, as far as I know. It might be some other distinction, but and it's no secret. So I guess a couple of things here. We've long accepted, whether I was going to spoken word, sets, or events, whether we're listening to rappers, novelists, writers, authors, script writers, across the board. We've always accepted content from these individuals, and they stated it. They stated that their inspiration or their sense of motivation was basically, I'm writing what I know. I'm writing my truth. And I saw this dope quote from this brother. It was one of these pride, the rainbow multicolored things, but it was one of these pride hashtag pride things on Instagram. And this brother, he's in the industry, in the film or TV industry. And, he said something, his quote, it was like a collage of 6 figures, and they each had like a word of encouragement. And this brother, his last name was Simeon. But he said, hey, if you don't see your voice out there in whatever industry or whatever it is you're trying to do, if you don't see your voice out there, then put it out there. And damn, that's dope as hell. And so, again, we've always accepted everything from these writers and these creators as, I'm just writing about what I know. That's how 50 Cent made Get Rich or Die Trying, the movie. I'm just talking about what I know. I'm listening to these Griselda, these rappers from Buffalo. We rapping about pain. We might look at it as just, we might just cast it aside as gangster music. And these dudes are like, I'm rapping about what I know. I'm rapping about what I come from. That's always been acceptable. But now here it comes with the Lena Waithe, who has these different lifestyles, sexual orientation, LGBTQ. Some of these phrases, I don't even know what what it is. I apologize. But now that she has the same sex union between Nina and Dre, the mother Nina of Kevin and Keisha is now married a woman, and now we have Luke James, who's playing Trig, who has his transgender woman who was a man or was born a man, Imani. And so now that's going on. There's also the story out there that one of the favorite characters who's no longer on the show, Barton Fitzpatrick, the actor who played Reg, he left the show or was put off the show because he declined to be involved with a transgender relationship or in a relationship with a transgender. Okay. Now, if you want to say this is excessive, You know, like, did you have to have all of the relationships in one show, one storyline? I can go along with that. But again, you know, if Lena Waithe, if that's what she's directed her, that's the story that she wants to tell. If she didn't see anybody else telling these stories, how can we get too mad at her that she's doing this? Also, do you get upset at Showtime for green lighting the idea that she pitched? So I see, you know, there's this ongoing attack on what black men are, you know, straight black men. It's, you know, you go to the BLM, blacklivesmatter.com, to their mission statement, you see some sketchy language in there. And I know in general, you know, a lot of TV shows, the black male on the show is homosexual and outward homosexual. The black character always has all the freaking flaws. I don't know if you remember Omari Hardwick. I'll get to that in a second. But he was on a show called Deep Blue. The brother that was on CSI, they were effed up in their personal lives. Everybody else just go to work, get some coffee, grab some donuts, have some beers. The black character got baby moms and tax evasion, addicted to pills, gambling. Delco, I think he has some stuff going on. You know, a Latino character. So I get it. But again, but then we get to somebody like Tyler Perry, who has all his power, and then when he has a chance to go do his show, I don't necessarily know if I even rock with all of his stuff, you know, his storytelling. But what I really wanted to hit on, because I'm at 7 minutes here, the interesting thing for me is we can get all up, and I see a lot of females commenting on this too, that, you know, I'm just not with it. I'm not with all this. I'm not with brothers being shown in this manner. I get it. But the thing that bothers me is nobody had any problems with what Courtney Kemp, and I always get her last name, Courtney Kemp Agboh or Courtney Agboh Kemp. But the female, the lady the sister that was running Power and was doing the after show or the commentary, talking about, you know, what, you know, just giving the commentary after each episode. Nobody said anything about what she did with that black family. She had the mom out here wilding. She slept with Sean. She slept with the Terry cat. She slept with the other brother. You know, this is somebody's mom, the mother of an 18-year-old, 19-year-old son who could put two and two together. But this family got torn apart. And the premise was okay. I completely rock with the premise. He wanted to get out of the game. James St. Patrick / Ghost. He wanted to get out of the game. His wife wanted him to continue to be in the game. That fractured everything. I was okay with that. But then when we get to the fact where it all culminates in this son blowing his father away, nobody said anything. Nobody said anything that over 4 or 5 seasons, I know it was 6 total, that this father and son could never sit down and get on the same page. Like, that ain't even how we even rock, in all honesty. But that's how they made it. And then to make it go so far to spin it off into these other shows that are going to be trash as well. But look what they did look what the caricatures that they made out of the thugs. 2-Bit and the other cat. Look at how silly and goofy they were to be thugs. You know, to be hustlers and whatnot, gangsters. But nobody said anything about any of this. Power was praised as being the hottest thing on TV. You know, the hottest thing in black, the hottest property in black TV. But like I said, I didn't see the daughter. Like I said, the daughter was a teenage daughter was blown away. The stuff that we saw with what they did with Lala, her character was messy. and her son. But nobody said anything about these images. And I'm comparing this to Ozark, for example. One day I was planning to do like this side by side comparison of the different characters. I ain't gonna take the time to watch that. After I take 3 hours to edit it. But that family been going through all their things. They've never turned against each other like this. That's a family under the thumb of a cartel leader or a cartel, and that family is pulling together. And they work to understand and figure this thing out so that everybody can make it out in the end, hopefully, maybe. That's what the Bird family, Jason Bateman, Laura Linney, The Sopranos. They had some infidelity on there and everything. I get it, but at the end of it, the family finished. The family in the controversial finale, they finished at the table eating as a family. I could probably go on and on. I'm running out of, but I'm making my point is I guess that's just my point, man. I don't understand why we're going to kind of and now lastly, I guess I'll take a couple of minutes to go through this. I meant to mention that I've been married 17 years next month in like 5 weeks to my wife, a woman. I watched the movie Brokeback Mountain. Probably seen it maybe 6 or 7 times, maybe 8. I have no problem watching that movie. I asked a partner about it. He looked at me like I was crazy, and he said he couldn't mess with it. And I'm not sitting here like I'm deep in the screen when Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal are doing their things, but it doesn't affect my my security and my sexuality or my manhood. It comes on, sometimes I go get a beer, go get some popcorn, or whatever. But it's not a complete deal breaker for me. Honestly, outside of them doing their thing, it's a very well written, very well told story. It's a lot of everyday people stuff that happens in the movie. But so anyway, I'm just not. I feel like I can still respect these individuals as people, and basically keep it respectful. And I'm always keep it respectful here on my channel with my commentary and what I'm talking about. Now, a couple years ago, we go to the Columbus Rib Fest, the capital of Ohio. They have a Rib Fest with a lot of jazz bands there, a couple different stages. And it's like a 3-day event, maybe a 4-day, I don't remember. But a couple years ago, we get down there and we walking through the crowd. We get out into the middle of, we got our plates and whatnot. And I turn around and I'm like 3 feet away from this group of 3 to 5 brothers. And I turn around and look down. They have on leggings. A couple of them have on leggings. A couple of them might even have on some short shorts. I think 1 or 2 of them, they had sandals, heels. They had a shorter haircuts with blonde hair dye, different colors and whatnot. I think some of them had purses or Merces, man purses, whatever. And I just turned around and was like, oh, okay. I'm in Dayton, Ohio. I don't know if I don't see that here locally because we don't have events of that magnitude. We too ignorant to have shit like that. But anyway, the brothers walked off, the cats walked off, and I just was like, damn, okay. Now that's not normal, honestly, to see those types of bodies in that type of clothing. That's not every day for me yet. I'm just not there. A couple years earlier, I go to a school graduation, high school graduation in D.C. for my wife's cousin. Suitland High School. The number of lesbian couples, even amongst the high schoolers, It was at the University of Maryland. I forget the name of it, where the Terps play, the basketball team. The number of girls walking around looking like young men, holding hands, kissing, it was, I was dumbfounded. But again, I mean, so that I'm saying all this to say, in conclusion, I just think it's kind of foolish to think that these figures, these individuals, this part of the overall community is not going to start to show up and be prevalent in a lot of the storytelling. And it's going to be incumbent upon us as viewers. You tune in or you tune out. Like I said, all I know is for me, I'm going to keep I'm gonna keep my thinking on it, my thoughts and my commentary on it respectful. But again, I just don't know why there's no no outrage, uproar about some of the what's going on with the traditional family structure or heterosexual characters. Anyway, I've kind of wasted some time. I just didn't know how to come back and address it all at once. But we'll see what happens with the shot. It seems like it might just be too much for there to ever be a critical mass or a larger buzz getting behind the show because of some of these things that people are very uncomfortable with, or just rigid completely. I'm not accepting it whatsoever. But it is Lena Waithe's show. So anyway, I'm out, man. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.